Hi, I wanted to show you really quickly a tool that you can use on many different sections where you're just given a data set, the individual values in your samples, not your statistics, but your individual values, like this example right here. So notice right here, it mentions that you have each of these individual values. And this is the example I did on just the previous video for 13.1, the lecture video. And I'm just going to show you a quick way to use what's called StatCrunch to allow you to answer questions pretty quickly on your homework and tests that involve just giving you the individual values, and you have to calculate certain things. So notice we have the individual values, and there's a box right up here. So if you click on this box, you have the option to open in StatCrunch. So StatCrunch is kind of like Excel, but it's specifically it's built into MyLabs Plus, which is convenient, and it does only statistics, but it has cells just like it has like spreadsheets just like Excel. So we'll open in StatCrunch, and so notice that the values are copied directly into StatCrunch because I said to do that. Open in StatCrunch, and we can do an analysis of variance on these three columns here by and the instructions for doing any analysis in the class is given at the end of each section in your textbook. They give you instructions of how to use StatCrunch. So right, if you go, like for example, this is 13.1. If you go to the beginning of section 13.2, and then just look right above where 13.1 or right above where 13.2 starts, it'll give instructions of how to use your technology, including StatCrunch for that previous section 13.1. So and also right after the exercises for 13.1, you can also think of it like that. Go to 13.1 exercises and go to the end, and then you'll get all those instructions of how to use StatCrunch. You can use Excel, Minitab, which we don't use, and how to use your calculator for that section's material. So 13.1, you'll notice that you'll go to Stat, and then you'll go to ANOVA, and we want to do what's called a one-way ANOVA, which is covered in 13.1. And we want to select all the variables we want to look at. Okay, so notice if you just select them, you can only select one at a time. So go ahead and hit Control, and you're able to select all three of the columns you want to compare. And that's all we really need to do. We're not dealing with Tukey, as you may notice. And so we'll compute this. And notice the ANOVA table right here. We haven't really gone over this, but you'll see this a lot in the book and possibly in your homework. And this gives you all the information that the calculator gave you on the previous video. The p-value, the F statistics of a statistic of 5, the mean squared of columns, which is similar to your treatment or your factor from your TI-83. They call it factor. And then your error, your mean squared for your error, and your SS. Like this is your MST and SST. This is your MSE and your SSE. And this is your degrees of freedom for the T and the E. And this is the total degrees of freedom, which is actually 18 minus 1. Anyways, so this gives you all conveniently, all in one step, everything you need. And it allows you to, it's just another way, kind of similar to your TI-83. This is honestly a little more convenient because you don't have to waste your time in inputting the values in your calculator. You just copy it directly on there. But this only works if you have the individual data values. For problems that don't have individual data values, like they give you X bars and your sample standard deviations, and you don't know the data values, you can't use StatCrunch, which is kind of inconvenient. You'll have to use the equations. But just to save some time on your homework and your tests, use StatCrunch when you need to. And if you need instructions of how to use StatCrunch, remember, go to the end of each of the sections to get that section's information of how to use technology, including StatCrunch and TI-83 and Excel. Anyways, let me know if you have any questions. It's really convenient, and as you can see, it's nice. All right. Thank you.